Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for coming to the community meeting for the 2nd Precinct for July. I appreciate you coming out this morning, and it's a beautiful day out there, and thanks for coming and hanging out in the 2nd Precinct basement. We will start with, at the meeting as we always do, we like to bring up some of our officers and to introduce themselves so the community can get familiar with them. So if you don't mind, officers, come on up. Anthony, would you like to?
Sure.
Go ahead.
What entrance?
Yeah. We didn't plan that. We rehearsed it like that. I'm Officer Modique. I work in the CSU, the Community Support Unit, so I go over the precinct. So if you have any complaints, anything like that, any traffic issues, you can let me and my partner know.
I'm Officer Caro. I work with, he's my partner, Community Support Unit. Same thing as him.
Alyssa Dowdy, I'm in the COAT unit with Jamie, my partner. We do all the community outreach in all aspects, so anything we can do for the community, we are here for. It goes everything. We pretty much try and do everything.
Officer Brigani. I work 2nd Precinct Patrol, like Melville, South Huntington area. So if you live in those areas, ask me a question, try to have an answer.
I'm Officer Murphy. I'm also 2nd Precinct Patrol. I do Melville and Dix Hill, so if you have any questions about those areas, feel free to ask.
I'm Jim Messina. I'm a sergeant in the Community Support Unit. I have about 25 years experience in the 2nd Precinct, and we handle basically community complaints, issues, and special events.
My name is Joe Farr. I'm one of the lieutenants in the patrol here in the 2nd Precinct. Any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about later on after the meeting, feel free to be in the back.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have 2 of our legislators here today. I just want to acknowledge Stephanie Bontempi and Tom Donnelly are here this morning. Thanks for coming. If there are any other elected officials, I appreciate, thank you for coming also. So let's get started. Let's see. Okay, the Chief of Patrol's office, run out of headquarters, does an annual inspection of all the precincts and some of the bureaus in Suffolk County. I'm proud to announce that we were the recipients of the Award for Excellence this year. Thank you. So a tremendous amount of work goes into that, and besides, I mean, everybody in this precinct, civilians, officers, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, and the DI, and particularly the DI and the captain, kind of put everything together. So I'd like to give them a special acknowledgement for doing a great job. You guys, you won that award for us. We have some more good news. We have the civilian. So I don't know how many of you know what the Civilian Academy is, but our police academy puts on an academy for civilians, and you can sign up for this. And 2 of our favorite community members that are very involved that are here today recently graduated. So Dana and Diane, I'd like to congratulate you. If you have any questions about that program, maybe afterwards they can. They said they had a wonderful experience. You get to learn about everything that we do. As far as, you know, the law and deadly physical force and driving the cars, and they get to go ride in a police car for the night. So it's a real nice program. I would recommend it to anybody. Gives you an idea of what we do on a daily basis. So congratulations again. Thank you. I think we got a picture. There's a picture. So, nice.
I can attest to it. I'm a graduate as well.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So Legislator Bontempi. Very nice. All right. Everybody, most of the feedback I get is always positive, so I recommend it. We'll look at the index crimes year to date for the precinct. Okay, no murders. That's good. Robberies for 2024 are down. We had 11 in 23. We have 6 this year. We're down 45%. Assaults are also down. We had 46 last year, only 38 this year, down slightly. Residential burglaries, down a pretty good significant amount. We had 26 of them last year, we only have 14, so that's down 46%. Commercial burglaries, same thing, good numbers this year. 27 last year, only 7 this year. That's down 74%. Larcenies, so again, last year up 872, this year 704, slightly down. And vehicle thefts are down a good number also. 46 last year, 21 this year, down 54%. So our index crimes year to date for the second precinct are real good. They're looking good. Everything is in the negative. That is good. And we'll look at the monthly stats. Okay, and no homicides this year, which is good. 1 robbery in May, none in June. That's great. 5 assaults in May and 5 in June, so we're even there. 1 residential burglary in May. We had 2 in June, so we're slightly up. And then commercial burglaries, we didn't have any in both months, which is real good. And then larcenies are slightly up. We had 135 in June and 128 in May. And then vehicle thefts, we were even at 3 for each month. Okay, this is an assault that took place. You probably saw this in the newspaper. This was a shooting that occurred on Sunday the 9th at 2:30 in the morning over by 495 on Comac Road by the service road in Dix Hills. This gentleman was driving, and his Mercedes, he became involved in a road rage incident. He may have inadvertently cut off another vehicle. There was some road rage going back and forth. He wound up stopping his vehicle and getting out of his vehicle. 2 other vehicles stopped, and there was a confrontation, and shots were fired. He was shot in the abdomen, and he was shot in the leg. The other 2 cars fled the scene. We do have a witness that gave a description. It was a black male with dreadlocks and a beard in one of the other vehicles, and he was wearing glasses. And he was the passenger in the white vehicle. There was 2 vehicles, a white vehicle and a dark vehicle. 4 shots were fired. He was hit twice. We recovered 9mm shell casings at the scene. He was treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. He was from out of state, and he had his family in the car, very young children in the car, and his wife. So this could have been real tragic. It's bad enough as it is. But, you know, with these road rage incidents, if someone cuts you off, you know, don't get so excited and get into this back and forth stuff. You read these stories a lot. This one's extreme because there was a shooting, but I've seen other ones where a guy gets out and he stabs somebody or gets hit with a bottle. I mean, you never know who's out there driving and dealing with. So if you could just kind of like have some patience and not get involved in the whole back and forth stuff, you know, it could save you some chance of getting injured. All right? This was another assault that occurred on Sunday the 16th, about 5:20 p.m. at New York Avenue and Huntington Station. These 2 guys were drinking together, and they became involved in a verbal dispute. The suspect broke a bottle that he had, and he took a piece of the glass and he slashed the victim in the neck. It caused a pretty serious injury. Luckily, there were people there that did first aid on this gentleman, and they were able to put pressure on it and until the ambulance got there, so they transported him over to Huntington. He received 16 stitches, and our units arrived quickly, and they were able to arrest the suspect at the scene. So the cops, you guys did a good job by getting there quickly. I commend you. Okay, this is a residential burglary on McKay Drive on the 12th. Between the 12th, Wednesday the 12th and Thursday the 13th from 5 on Wednesday to 7:30. The woman came home and discovered that somebody illegally entered her basement apartment while inside damaged property, stole a television, a washer dryer, a microwave, Nintendo Switch, and Jordan sneakers. So, yeah, obviously must have been there quite a while. I don't know if anybody saw what was going on, but you know, I always tell everybody to try and, you know, keep your eyes out for your neighbor's property and stuff. And I got some other stuff I want to talk about as far as just being alert out there. I mean, this house could be secluded. You might not be able to see it from the street. So, you know, I don't really know this whole story or what's going on, but our detectives are investigating. We'll see how all this property disappeared. Burglary on Capitol Place in Huntington Station on Monday the 17th, 11:15 p.m. The victim, while at her boyfriend's residence, reports that a subject she knows, a known subject, arrived there and forcibly kicked in the front door. The suspect assaulted her boyfriend and then chased her upstairs, where he threatened her with a handgun. The suspect punched the victim and stole her cell phone. Just so you know, after a quick investigation, some of our plainclothes officers were able to locate this guy and he was arrested. So that was another nice job by our investigators. This was a gun arrest on Saturday the 22nd, about 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m., East Pulaski Road. This was a domestic call where our officers responded. The victim expressed that her boyfriend was in possession of a weapon, and during their investigation and speaking to this gentleman, they were able to recover the handgun and they arrested him for illegal possession of a weapon. So that was a great job by those cops who went to that domestic. Sometimes domestic incidents will lead into something for us. You know, it's not always just a back and forth. Sometimes if it gets really bad, we'll get information that really helps us, and they were able to get this gun off the street. And that's the weapon that he had. Unfortunately, we had a hate crime in the precinct. This was on Monday the 17th, about 9:05 a.m. at Little Plains and Broadway. So 3 gentlemen, Muslim gentlemen, who were going to the mosque for prayer services, were stopped at the light in the turning lane when another gentleman, described as a white male in his 50s, pulled up next to them. He saw that they were wearing their Muslim attire, and for some reason he had a problem with that. He got involved into like a verbal dispute with them and started, you know, making biased comments and threatening them. I don't know what the reason was, but then he escalated to where he took his vehicle and he rammed their vehicle and took off. So obviously our officers from the 2nd Precinct responded. We notified the hate crimes unit. They came down. They do a really good job. They were able to interview these gentlemen, and they gave us a great description, and we got a plate, I believe. I know hate crimes is, I don't know if they made an arrest or they're soon to be making an arrest on this. The issue with the male who instigated this whole thing, he has some serious mental issues. He has a history of, you know, being taken to mental hospitals and whatnot. So that might have been a factor in what escalated this situation. So, but the hate crimes unit is investigating, and we know who he is. It's just a matter of when they're going to charge him. I know a lot of you complain about the ATVs and the motorcycles that speed around on the streets illegally. So a couple of our CSU officers did a great job the other night, and they were able to grab one of these guys on the ATV. If you look, he's driving right on New York Avenue in Huntington Station, which is crazy. It's a busy road. At 10 p.m., doing all kinds of crazy antics on his ATV. They were able to catch up with him, and they arrested him. He was a 24-year-old male operating this ATV recklessly. After they stopped him, he showed signs of intoxication, so he was also charged with DWI besides the reckless driving. So great job by the CSU guys right there. Nice job. Every once in a while we get one. I'm happy about it. It's tough, you know, we can't really chase them, so But that's the, that was impounded, and it'll probably be destroyed. We did an SLA inspection. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a state liquor authority inspection. And we check on licensed premises throughout the year. We do regular checks, but a lot of times when we have issues with a place, we do like a surprise inspection. So we did this one at Finley's of Green Street. We had an assault there prior. So we were on the 14th at 11 p.m. Our PCS officers, our plainclothes officers, New York State Liquor Authority, and Town of Huntington Code Enforcement conducted the SLA at Finley's of Green Street. The owner was arrested for operating a disorderly premise and issued several summonses for SLA violations. 2 security guards were arrested for being unlicensed. 1 was also charged with resisting arrest. The Town of Huntington issued 4 building and fire code violation. And the SLA inspector observed some type of gambling going on. I believe they had like a blackjack table where they were getting rewarded for points. You can't do that. So they shut down the place for the night. One of the security guards, I don't know, for whatever reason, got a little belligerent with our officers down there. And that's what happened with the arrest. And he was unlicensed. And he was supposed to produce his license. He didn't have one. And I guess he felt, that was wrong, but he has to have a license. And then he got into it with some of our officers, but they took him into custody, and that was the end of that. So we'll keep an eye on Finley's. Another SLA inspection. This is a sports bar, El Cocodolo, located at 137A Broadway, Huntington. This was on the 21st at 11:55. The same people, PCS, SLA, Town of Huntington. The owner was arrested for operating, again, a disorderly premise, employing unlicensed security guard, issued several summonses for SLA violation. 1 security guard was arrested for being unlicensed. A patron of the bar was charged with possession of cocaine, and the Town of Huntington issued 11 building and fire code violations. The business was shut down again for the night. This is up on Broadway by the train station. We did another compliance check on a massage parlor. Okay, this one on the 25th, in response to community complaints. We got quite a few of these. And again, our crime section officers, the Suffolk DA's office, Town of Huntington Fire Marshal, and Code Enforcement conducted the investigation at Well Spa, located at 905 Jericho Turnpike, Huntington Station. 2 women were arrested for unauthorized practice of a profession, that's a felony, and prostitution, misdemeanor. The town issued several code violations and is conducting a further investigation into the business. So we get the complaints. We're constantly doing compliance checks on these places. They just keep popping up. We keep hitting them. We did a couple of search warrants in the precinct last month. On Wednesday the 5th, they did one on our second squad detectives and a narcotics squad. They executed the search warrant on Green Lawn Road in Huntington. They recovered an illegally possessed loaded handgun, Glock 43, and 1 subject was arrested and charged with weapons possession and sale of a controlled substance, third. That's also a felony. Another search warrant executed on Thursday the 13th, again early in the morning, on Avalon Court in Melville. Our detectives and a narcotics squad executed a search warrant. They recovered cocaine, 2 pounds of marijuana, and over $50,000, which was confiscated. 1 subject was arrested and charged with 4 felony counts of criminal possession and sale of a controlled substance. So that was a nice job there.
Do you rely on community tips for these search warrants?
Yes, we get a lot of tips through the community, and the detectives, I can't give away all their secrets, but they gather information in different ways. But yes, we do get a lot of tips. Sometimes neighbors will see a lot of activity at a house, and they'll flip that in, and we act on everything we get. So we don't have a lot of narcotics detectives assigned to the precinct, but they have their own squad also out of headquarters, but I can tell you that the guys that are assigned here are constantly working and investigating a lot of these places. They do a hell of a job. So they're not down here, but they deserve a lot of credit. The guys that work in this precinct do a real good job. So yeah, this one was Wednesday the 26th at 6 a.m. on Spring Road in Huntington. Again, our detectives on narcotics, they executed a search warrant and recovered cocaine, drug paraphernalia. One subject was arrested and charged with possession and criminal sale of a controlled substance. So 3 this month. We hit them pretty hard, trying to keep those.
Down the house number or anything.
I try, you know, because June sometimes live streams, or now we're taping and this goes out on the public, I try to keep some of that type of information out. So that's just another warning. If you have questions that are going to relate to whether it's your residents or maybe some of your neighbors, or just keep in mind that June does, she films this, and it does get put out on social media and whatnot. So
I will do my best to edit out any
yes.
additional information, but it's a lot less work if you just don't go, I live at.
Okay, let's skip this one. The site team, they operate, it's the Highway Patrol, and they operate in the precinct on a monthly basis. Unfortunately, it's just the second, so the sergeant who usually gives me the stats for this, I haven't been able to get anything from him. Usually it's a couple days later he's able to get to me, but I'm sure they were in the precinct. I'll get the stats to you for next month's meeting. But they come in and they do a great job. They hit the speed zones, the school zones. They primarily write moving violations, and they have pretty substantial numbers. So besides our officers that are out there doing it, we have them as help, because I know we get a lot of traffic complaints. This is a good number to report. We had no fatal accidents for last month, so that's always good. Here are the arrests for June: 18 felonies, 88 misdemeanors, 6 assault-related arrests, 5 gang members arrested. I know that one is MS-13. I don't have a better breakdown because somebody's on vacation, so these were the numbers I got right before today. So next month I'll probably have a better breakdown of the gang arrests. We had 5 drug-related arrests, 10 DWIs. There was about 140 arrests in the precinct for the month of June. Domestic incidents and overdoses. So domestic incidents, we responded to about 203 domestic incidents in June. I know it sounds like a big number, right? 58 of them had criminal charges, either pending or arrests were made. Right, from the stats I could get, only 8 arrests, but there are probably a lot of pending cases now, because usually the patrol officers go, and then the case goes back to our plainclothes officers, and they got to do a little investigating and before the arrests are made. So it looks like a lot, but only a few arrests, but there'll probably be more arrests that related to the number. Another good number, no overdoses last month. So that's really a good number, because that's the first time I've seen 0. So that's a good thing. I don't know if it has anything to do with our drug guys working hard, but that's good. ShotSpotter. For those of you who don't know what ShotSpotter is, there are sensors throughout Huntington Station in a certain area, and they pick up gunshots, and they notify us, and the police officers have a computer screen, and they have an icon on there, and it alerts them to if there's a gunshot right where that location is, within, like, I don't know, 50 feet or so. They've increased the technology on those, so it's much more accurate. We do get false ones from time to time. So we only had 2 activations in June, and the first one was on the 20th at 1 p.m. on 18th Street. The officers responded. They didn't find anything. Negative results. That's what that means. So probably not shots fired. And then on Monday the 24th at 10 p.m. on Winding Street, Huntington Station, they responded there was a party and possibly fireworks going off. So I'm assuming next month I'll have a lot more ShotSpotter activations. I don't know. Let's hope not. We got some upcoming events. Summer Safety Series. Let me get my glasses for this one. Alyssa and Jamie are in the back, so they'll be running these at the mall. There's quite a few. You got bicycle safety on the 13th, swim safety on the 20th, July senior safety, August 7th car seat safety, August 15th stranger danger, and August 22nd anti-bullying. So if you want to take a quick snapshot of that so you don't miss any of those, they always do a great job at that. They're also doing the car seat. You got to check to make sure your car seat is installed correctly. So Jamie and Alyssa do that, and that's August 3rd at the Walt Whitman shops again. So 9 o'clock to 12. They have to register or anything, or they just show up?
Yes, if they can register.
So okay, if you want to take a picture of that, or so you have the information, and they'll show you how to do the car seat, and they'll look at your car seat to make sure that it's authorized, because some of them, are expire, and then they're not up to the standards. So they'll take a look at it. Pool safety. I went over this the last 2 meetings. As soon as the summer hit, we know we lost a couple people in this precinct from drowning in backyard pools. We haven't had one since then, but there's been others in Suffolk County. So please be alert if you have a pool. Make sure someone's watching, especially for kids. We don't want a tragedy. Got a nice weekend coming up. I'm sure everybody will be in the pool. Monthly reminders: don't leave your keys in the car, don't leave your valuables in the car, lock your doors. Every month we go over this. When you see the larceny numbers, just locking your door could prevent, one of these larcenies from happening, because these guys go around at night when everybody's sleeping and they try to car doors, and if the door's locked, they just usually move on. But a lot of times people will leave pocketbooks, wallets. It's crazy what you see that people leave in cars. So it's not like years ago when you could leave your house open and cars. I just remind you, please, secure all your valuables. Scams. Last month we had the guys from Financial Crimes come in and talk about scams. It was a really nice presentation for those of you who saw it. So they're out there. Mail theft, check washing. Again, they steal the mail and they get your check and they change the person that it is made out to, and they change the numbers. So the Financial Crimes guys said that you should check your accounts like on a weekly basis and look at the checks that you're owed. I know my bank, I get to see the check and who signed it, but just make sure the checks you're writing out are made out to the people that you made them out to and for the proper amount, because after a certain time, I don't think you're covered for the theft on this. All right, so just, if you're sending a lot of checks through the mail, these guys are stealing mail out of mailboxes. I know that some of these people who have complainants on these cases have actually mailed the mail in the post office. So somewhere, somebody's getting into this mail and stealing checks and changing it. So something to be mindful of. Check your accounts to make sure that you don't have this problem. Oh yeah, the phone call for a relative being arrested. This is a common scam. Everybody's heard this, I think. Just if you haven't, it's good. Someone calls you and says, your nephew was arrested, someone in your family was arrested. You have to post the bail money. They want you to send them the money or they're gonna come and pick it up. We don't do things that way. That's not how it works. So if you get that where whoever was supposedly arrested, try to somehow reach out to that person and say, hey, I'm getting a call that you were arrested. And it's a scam, and a lot of people fall for it. So if you get that call, just hang up the phone or notify us. Oh, I put the bottom thing on, the gym larcenies. We've been having a lot of these throughout Suffolk County. For those of you who go to Planet Fitness, Crunch Gym, all these gyms, right? Everybody wants to work out and stay in good shape. That's good. They have these guys that are going around. They go into the gym. They're breaking into lockers, taking wallets, pocketbooks, whatever. Also, sometimes they're in the parking lot. They watch you, put your valuables under the seat. I would recommend maybe putting it in the trunk if you have a car with a trunk. Or the only other thing I'd say is bring as little as possible with you. Maybe just have your license and the car keys, and if you could get some type of thing where you can hold your cell phone, maybe take a picture of your license if you don't want to, so this way, if God forbid you get stopped, you can say, I have my license, have a picture because I'm going to the gym. So the least amount of valuables you have to secure is a good thing, because a lot of people, all of a sudden, they have every credit card they ever had in there, and then it's a big problem. And they steal the stuff, and they go right to the stores and start using the cards. So just something to be mindful of. Go ahead.
The ones in the locker rooms, are those locked lockers, or is it?
So
I
think...
I see a lot of lockers that are unlocked.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's both. It's both. They break in. They'll break in. I don't know what maybe they go in with a bag and they have a screwdriver or something to break the hinge.
Yeah.
They're not really that great, the lockers. The point is to, maybe just bring as little as possible that you need just to go back and forth. And while I'm on this, I forgot to put this on, but there's a big rash of cell phone larcenies going on throughout the county, and not just here. Suffolk, Nassau, I read about it in Massachusetts. This is something new. If you order cell phones online and they're going to be delivered to your house, this has been going on now for quite some time. So you order a cell phone, it's supposed to be delivered by FedEx or Amazon, okay? And somehow, and I don't know how, I'm hoping that somehow these investigators are going to discover how these people are finding out the exact time of these deliveries and the locations. So what's happening is the FedEx driver or the Amazon driver delivers the package on the stoop. They usually take a picture and leave, and not even a minute or two later, some guy comes up in a car and grabs the package. I've seen people order a lot of 6 cell phones. I don't know what you do with 6 cell phones, but people order a lot of cell phones. So this is like a jackpot for these guys, because they just stole 6 cell phones. There's information that some of these new gangs might be involved in this, but I still don't understand how they're getting this information. I don't know if they're hacking into the website for these delivery companies. I really don't know, but what I'm trying to get at is if you order a cell phone online and you want to have it delivered, I don't know if there's an option for you to have to sign for it, or maybe you could go and pick it up. But these guys have also showed up in Amazon vests after they leave, and they go up to the thing with another package and put that down and take the other one, like, oh, I delivered the wrong package. So there's a whole thing going on. So if you're ordering cell phones online, just be careful with this. Make sure someone's home. They've had guys, Kevin, where the guy goes up to the driver and say, oh yeah, oh, you're delivering it to my house? Thanks, yeah, I'll take it right here on the street. And sometimes, like the FedEx guys, they don't know. They just want to get the package. So this is a big scam that's going on with cell phones. So if you order cell phones online and they're going to be delivered, just be aware of this. Next meeting, August 6th, South Huntington Library. Hopefully I'll see you all there. Our second precinct PLAB, June is one of the co-chairs, she's here. Their meeting is coming up, their quarterly meeting. Everybody that's here is invited to go to that. It's open to the community. And it's July 17th at 6 p.m. at Huntington Assembly, 1700 New York Avenue and Huntington Station. So it's pretty close for everybody. Please come down, they do a really great job. The PLAB is the Precinct Level Advisory Board. I had explained this in many meetings ago, but basically community members from all over the precinct were elected to this board, and they get together and they discuss issues that occur in the town of Huntington, and they try and come up with solutions, and they get together with me, and we all try and work together to make Huntington a safer and better place. So if you have ideas or questions and you want to come down and get involved with this, it's a really great organization, and we'd appreciate any kind of input if you want to come down and have some say in something. Independence Day is coming up. I wish you all a safe and happy 4th. Remember, fireworks, they're illegal. Hard to believe. And well, they're very dangerous too. That's the thing, the point to get across. Usually every year somebody gets maimed by some type of illegal fireworks. It just happened like I think a week ago in Bayshore, a guy blew like half of this hand off and a few fingers from another hand. I don't know what he was playing around with, but it went off in his hand, and now he's maimed for life. I know the county exec and our commissioners, they did a public service message yesterday. It was on News 12. They would show the car blowing up. I mean, basically, these big fireworks are really dangerous. So just, you know, be careful. Most of the municipalities have a fireworks thing. And is Huntington, is Huntington doing a fireworks show?
Not Huntington specifically.
Okay.
But there will be fireworks shows.
Yeah, there's plenty of fireworks show if you want to go, and you know, you can probably Google it and see where they're having a show if you really need to see it. Probably could just hang out in your backyard, but
It's my driveway.
yes. So and listen, we take, you know, I know we take it seriously. A lot of people have these complaints. Most of the time, you know, people have dogs, and it's really bad. The dogs get all freaked out from the noises and stuff, and we get it. So if you want to give us a tip, we'll respond to any tip, and we'll investigate. And if we find people with fireworks, we're gonna either arrest them or issue them a summons or something. So you know, don't be afraid to pick up the phone if you want, and you got a big problem with this. Okay? Just celebrate. If you're gonna celebrate, please celebrate responsibly. I can tell you that we're gonna have extra DWI patrols out there in a few days. So you know, there's other options: taxi, Uber, Lyft, all these companies, or designate somebody. Okay? You saw what happened in Deer Park. I won't get into it. It was a horrendous accident, and it was DWI related. Very tragic, very sad. I don't know what to say, but there's a lot of options, so there's no excuse for it, really. Well, skip that. And that's our contact numbers. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. We'll do questions now, complaints. P-Lab. Oh, you want to talk about the P-Lab? Yeah, June's going to explain about the precinct level advisory board meeting coming up, so she wanted to come up and address everybody, so no problem.
Do I have fellow PLAB members here? You want to come up? Jimmy? Okay. Give him a gold brick.
I'll join you up here.
All right, great. Hey, so, yes, I'm co-chair with Karina Mendez of the Second Precinct Level Advisory Board. It's called the PLAB. It's a mandate from the Latino Justice Agreement that these boards be established for all 7 precincts in Suffolk County. To be honest, there's no way, in my opinion, there is no way that the department would have voluntarily done this, because it can be complicated. So our responsibility is to liaise between the community and the police department to improve community police relations and get the word out about county services, right? Am I missing anything else?
No, you're touching it.
All right,
And
great.
also to connect the community for them to be involved with us.
Correct.
Like the inspector said.
Correct. So, while certain aspects may be slightly redundant to what we do here, what the department already does here in the community, we've been meeting since January.
Yes.
So we actually have had some quite fruitful things come out of it as far as in relationship to working with SCPD,
Right.
including, just as an update, our last executive session, which was not fully open to the public, was it was a youth roundtable that we did, where we invited teens from all over the Second Precinct area between the ages of 13 and 20 to come and discuss some issues that they may be having and discuss their police-community relationship, things like that. And we got a lot of very valuable information. It was lightly attended. We're going to be doing 2 more before we really, you know, we have some already a project that we think would benefit all these in the community. A possible new education thing we'll work with for the students through using our school resource officers in the school, like additional information that they're not aware of, which that was valuable. Maybe not something necessarily that the officers would find out on their own.
Right.
We found out. So anyway, our upcoming meeting is about, we're going to have the mental health unit, SCPD's brand new mental health unit that has completely changed the way that they respond to mental health calls and crises,
Yeah,
right?
very
There's
important.
very,
Very
brand new
important.
protocol, also quasi-mandated,
Yes.
right? So at our first PLAB meeting, there were a lot of questions from the audience related to mental health issues.
Yes,
So
it was.
this is really important if you work with the community as a community leader, if you work with health-related population.
If you know anyone that works in the mental health field,
Please have
any
them come.
professionals, please come to our next meeting.
Yeah.
Where the department, with the mental health unit, will be given a very thorough presentation. Please come. I
Yeah,
think it will be
and-
quite informative.
And we will have a community Q&A the last 30 minutes of the meeting.
And there'll be coffee there.
Well done.
Yes.
Okay, well, he's bringing coffee apparently. So, anyway, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Inspector.
all right. Very nice. Well, I'll take questions now. Yes.
I don't know if I should ask this. With regard to the crimes, the illegal guns, the drugs, it gets reported somewhere whether these people are legal or illegal citizens?
Well, we don't ask their immigration status. Okay, we don't do that. So if they are arrested for felony or misdemeanor, though, that will be reported to. We have a form that goes to ICE. But we don't, on the street, when we talk to people, we don't ask what their immigration status is. Only if they're arrested for a crime.
Okay, so there's nothing
Understood.
stated in a report whether they're...
No, our officers, we're not supposed to inquire about immigration status. Okay, unless, once they're arrested, then it's a different story. Okay?
Okay.
Anybody else?
Just wanted to
Sure.
mention that the Financial Crimes Unit video
Yeah.
is at the Huntington Matters YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So anybody who's here who missed it, they can see the presentation.
All right.
Inspector, how's your officer that was hit, I guess, on the LIE?
I think that was highway, right? Highway Patrol. Did you get a status on that?
Yeah, he's been released.
Good.
Okay, yeah. Again, another, the DWI stuff. So, nothing from, you got nothing? Okay, all right. Well, listen, again, have a wonderful 4th of July. I appreciate everybody coming out, and enjoy the weekend.
Happy 4th.
Okay, yeah, happy 4th. Thanks.